Hello, 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 hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. There. Okay, we're good. We're good. Good morning, chat. Welcome, welcome. We're about to jump into some analysis here. We want to know exactly what's going on now. That's what we're gonna look at here. Like good volume. All right, guys. So price on gold right now it's actually moving down quite heavy. We are seeing a lot more bearish momentum. So I would like to get stuck into some sells straight off the bat. If we can get that confirmation, that would be perfect. Right now, I'm seeing currently we're kind of like a doji in terms of order flow. We don't have much of a directional bias at the moment, but I think what's happening here is prices accumulating and it's just getting ready for that next push, right? And then we're expecting that volume to be coming in towards New York Open. Maybe it might come in sooner. Let's just monitor price and let's see how it is. But on the daily right here, let's see daily time frame is currently on the way down. Let's see. There's a potential 30-minute shotgun up. Okay. Yeah, so that daily is at a form of a resistance right now. And this is the kind of area now that we're rejecting, right? Like previous daily closed above resistance point here. It actually already also filled the range on the left-hand side up towards this point, right? So majority of that range had already got mopped up by this wick right there. And now we have clean traffic, clean candle bodies or clean range, or what do you call it? Lower time frame. Not lower time frame. What's that other word? Whatever you want to call it. We got clean range, clean candles to the downside towards maybe like, you know, for the week up ahead, because it's Thursday now. We're gonna expect this boom and then that next candle to come down like this to retest 4,000. Remember, like 4K, we still have 4,000 psychological right over here, right? And overall that gold on the daily as well is ranging. We have a resistance up here and we also got a support down over here. So I think logically as we start to come up towards the highs, we would expect that price would follow this same market condition and then come back down, right? Because we don't know yet when price is going to break out, unless maybe we create a support like this on Thursday closure, and then the next day on a Friday, we create like maybe some kind of a support. And if that happens, that will be quite interesting because we haven't really had that happen here. We kind of had it here, but this was more of a retracement because it came down like this. And then after it hit that support, it was more clear that this area was consolidating, right? Once we hit that support and started rejecting it, coming up like this. So if something like that was to happen, then I would be expecting maybe for the week up ahead that we'll have more of a bull run to the upside. Correct? But since, you know, we haven't got any of those confirmations yet, we're gonna watch how this candle here is gonna close. Most likely, since it's already moving down, I would expect it to continue to move down. Exactly towards this like kind of low traffic area over here. Then we're gonna fill that range and then maybe come down towards like 4K. So let's see if we can get some sort of confirmation on the LTF, but I see right now we're having a bit of like, actually this was like a head and shoulders pattern right over here. So you got that left shoulder, you have the head, and then you got that right shoulder right here. Also showing that to us is the volume push. So it's also breaking below, again, key level of support right over there. Coming down on the 4-hour intraday timeframes towards like 40.53. That's why we're looking at a range on the 4-hour here of about maybe like 324 pips. See, because price is moving down, right? So I'm not speculating, at least not at this very moment yet, for something like that to happen. It would be a lot nicer if we got the opposite and had something like this happen instead. Then price comes down, retest this area. It's gonna be a little bit more predictable because anyway, that's the way it's flowing right now. But if you go on the lower time frame, maybe you're gonna see this head and shoulder here a little bit better. So we just basically filled up our range towards these resistance point here. Got another resistance point here. We had also another resistance point here. We're just filling up with those ranges, right? So we've come towards the tail end, which is the highs right there, and these would be the lows. So we're already coming towards the kind of like tail end there for the buys. Yeah, so let's see. Let me go back on the LTF a little bit here too. Let's go on the 1-hour. Yeah, you can kind of see better here on the 1-hour. The little head and shoulders play. Actually, that's where we got my sell this morning. Well, it's just like around that right shoulder area over here. It's completely nutted. Look at this. Insane move. Just continue to melt here. This is the hourly time frame. Just completely nutted from that area. Because it's trying to mop up this zone. Correct? That lower time frame area, or low traffic area. It's trying to mop this zone up. You can also see how that the market would typically want to mirror itself. So we are starting to get that mirror effect right here as it's coming down. Actually, we can even adjust this TP as it's already filling up most of that range. We only have now on the hourly here about maybe like 90 more pips. And why it's important to always like refine as you're going down, because the higher time frame is going to give you like an idea of the higher time frame volume pushes of where we can overall go towards these lows. But we still have speed bumps. So we always got to keep in mind these levels of support as price is coming down. Because then we're going to have situation like this. Boom, boom, boom. Little speed bumps as price starts to move to the downside. So I would say that next speed bump, at least right here, is going to be like 40.77. Might see them on the lower time frame as well. 30-minute look clean. We're about to actually break out of the small accumulation right here. As you can see, price is been accumulating. Massive volume, by the way, today. If you look and notice how that price has been pushing, right? We're getting like huge moves in the market. So this is really what we want to see. This is really what we want to see. You see really nice volume, beautiful pushes. So that's already looking quite appetizing. Let's go on the 5-minute time frame, refine this zone a little bit more. We can see here a bit more data, which is now accumulation. So as price is consolidating, essentially this is going to be that inception move, right? Again, just the same like we had yesterday. We're having similar thing happening here too. Because price is at a, it's not in distribution right now. It's more in a point A at this moment, correct? And you're most likely going to see the sellers coming in below here. as price is currently moving down. And let's go on the 5-minute, investigate. 5-minute range on the left-hand side. Looks pretty good. Let me see, we have like a support area right here by like 40.91. But if we scoot over to the right-hand side, it's below the level, right? So essentially, we should be having some clean range to continue mirroring this move here on the higher time frame to come down towards like the next speed bump by 40.77. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Leave a 1 in the chat if this makes sense with the way you look at markets or just in general. Leave a 1 in the chat because this is how you do analysis when you're looking for some kind of a clean follow through, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want to have clean follow throughs with our trades. We don't want to have trades which give us a hard time. So right now I'm up. I just took about one trade up about 5.20%. 5.20% on this position. And yeah, let's see. I want to take another trade. I want to look for maybe like 2%. We'll see. We will see how that sets up. Yeah, so now we just gotta wait. 1-ish. I think 84, the top of the last range poses a threat, but 77 is full TP. I would say like even if someone looking for buys, if you're looking for buys, maybe you're gonna find like a buy around like 40.93. Let's see, on the 5-minute, might need to refine it up here. If you're looking for buy above, that'll be good buy like 40.99, like 4100 psychological, right there. So then you're gonna have like a buy position, which can potentially run here about like 90 pips. So that's where your buys would be. Sells below support. This range here, pretty decent range, like 120 pips, 25 pips, 125 pip range that we're currently sitting in. And it's just waiting for that breakout and come down here about 97 pips, let's say. 99, let's say 100. Just round it off. So they 100 pips down to like 40.77. See if there's any more clues. We had this maybe like potential fake out over here too. You see how that wick came up and it kind of did like let's say like a potential liquidity grab up here when it took out this high. Like a small minor little liquidity grab above here. Now we shall see a little direction. I see it's also being held down by that Ada Sebe. So you got a nice buy just a few minutes ago. 5-minute and 15 looks so nice with rejections. Ooh. Target 2 is about 250 pips down. I can see I want to hold this morning. Sell, but didn't have the courage. Man, look at that flow. Beautiful. Waterfall over there. It's normal, this strong buy zone, a clean zone below I can take, about 9% up. Going to take another trade for 1% risk. Jump to bump it to 10% or 8%. Very nice. Very nice. What is this? You're using the volume profile here. You're now using, this is, yeah, volume profile. Little point of control there by 41.15, lined up nicely with that break. This is a fixed volume profile, because you know the fixed ones, they're much nicer because the ones that adapt, usually after the fact, they start drawing it nicely, but a fixed one will always remain the same. So that would like be more accurate, I would say. At least you can hold it accountable, right? These indicators which change as price goes along, it's sometimes in hindsight looking very good. But I see here we're starting to break, so we're starting to already get sells coming in. Let's see in terms of volume. Decent amount of activity as well coming in as we are going for the break right here. So I wouldn't be surprised to actually see this thing tank. It just got like liquidity grab. Now we're looking at the sells below. Look on the 1 minute time frame. See, it's like coming down quite nicely. How much is the... All right, so Delta also looking quite decent there too. They're like 600k, 700k. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Looks like it's like kind of popping its head out of this area, correct? Because that's all just been range, and now look at where we're trading. Now it's trying to pop its head below it, so we'll see how the structure is going to be here with the break. It's going to come back into the range, or if it's going to give us like a follow through. I think the only missing ingredient right now is just like a little bit of the timing for me, so I've just got to monitor a little bit more. Doing small little break and retest, especially like starts to re-break the lows. Pull up, liquidity grab. Let's go on the 5. I remember all this is just a mirror. It's still mirroring that higher time frame. It's still trying to continue to move down towards like 40.77. That's why I said like you wouldn't be looking for necessarily a buy right now. Oh, nice. Now look at that. There's that push now on the break.
Why are you running?
It's committing a bit more to the position. So kind of a different situation that we had, I think, in the previous 2 days, because now instead of catching the move, because typically we would catch a move like this, right? We would typically look at catching the move, something like this. Correct? But, or like this. But this is happening like, now we might end up not trading the inception breakout. We might have to see maybe like a continuation. That's if it keeps going. See where it stops. So maybe like fills the range. If it fills the range, we'll have to investigate how it looks like here. Or maybe we're going to get like in the middle as it's still trying to come down. So yeah, that's currently already looking pretty good. Little head and shoulders in here too. It's kind of a, what do we call, like ripple. It's a small little ripple effect on the head and shoulder, but you can see like right here. It's a little ripply because it's just consolidated for the most part. They load it up here. SMA kind of holding here on the 1 minute still. That SMA is still trying to bully price down. It'd be nice if the 5 minute, at least the 5 minute, caught up a bit more. See, we're still a bit further away from the 5 SMA. It would be nice if it kind of like aided that push, aided the pressure. Kind of trading a little bit away from that there. It is a lagging indicator, but it's always nice to see if, if candlesticks end up closing a little bit more here, then that's going to come down. It looks like it wants to melt. It looks like it's got to bleed here. We just got a shotgun play. Candlestick just closed below support. Starting to break the lows right here. What's my daily bias? Bearish. But even more so important is what's going to be that hourly bias. Because you see that next candle, I mean the candle that we're going to catch a trade on is not going to be necessarily that daily. It's going to be the hourly. Because if you investigate this hourly here, it's already kind of moved down, right? So we can assume that this candle here has had like a move. So each hour might have like an average. Of course, we can have a lot of volume. Like look at the size of this hourly here. Massive, almost 300 pips. This one is still relatively fresh, but it seems to have had a small stretch. But I would say today has a lot of volume, right? If you notice like the average of these like good pushes during high volume trading times, pretty good averages over here. So even like just say this little humble one right here, nice little average one compared to what we're seeing now. We definitely still got room in the next 37 minutes for that hourly push. And you see that hourly just created like some kind of a support, and it's starting to break below that support zone, or like 40.90, as it's coming down to this level. So that's what I am definitely keeping an eye on. Yeah, so we're gonna monitor this. It's accumulating here a little bit more. As you can see, this is a small accumulation here too, as it's getting ready for a push out of this zone. There's a little accumulation here. Now it's trying to do the same thing. Essentially, you see what this is? As a candlestick is coming down like this from this little accumulation zone, that's essentially the same thing that's happening here. So it's just doing like fractally on that LTF on that 1 minute, but it's trying to push out again. So it's still within that. It's still kind of within the inception, I would say. It's like early. It's like a re-entry sort of a signal. As you can see now, it's starting to push down. So it pushed down, essentially pulled up. I think when it does this, it's trying to get more orders for a push down, but you know, it's also something to be cautious about if it starts breaking highs instead. But you see the hourly and the daily, hourly bearish. So that one makes like a move like this, like pretty good move, right? So at least you're trading with the market, with the direction. So a move like this could have been a pretty good dub for me already. Made like about 20 pips on something like this. Like 25 pips on something like this. Lots of confluences, lots of clean range on the left-hand side. I'd say for me, it's at least pretty straightforward. It's gonna say like a little bit of profit taking as well from the scalpers. That was a pretty decent push right there too. You're gonna see this push around like 20. Remember what we talked about yesterday as well? Usually when it comes to, let's say your TP, you're looking maybe like 16, 20, 30, 40 pips. SL maybe like, you know, 5, 16, 20 pips. Then you're still gonna have like reactions off of those levels, right? Once you start hitting them. This situation, I think we got like what, 33 or something like that. Then you have like a little pullback. It's kind of like the same thing also with the trade that I took this morning. Boom, sell right here, and then you see that it's like a little bit more of a pullback right there. A little bit more of a pullback right there. I'm doing pretty well so far. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. You see, because towards the end of the month, you're gonna have good pushes, right? You can at least anticipate having like really good pushes. As like if you come and investigate here on the monthly candle, you see with the monthly candle, even if we like investigate this monthly, we've just been kind of like holding. You might even think of like an artificial hold here at 4,000 psychological, right? Because like even if you look at this monthly, it hasn't had much of a move. It's like a doji. doji candle. So imagine that means for the whole of July over here, price has just been ranging. And that's why I said, like, on the daily time frame, that's a range that I was showing you on the daily time frame, right? We've just been ranging, waiting for like some maybe continuation. This could be a pause, but we still have about 8 days. And since we got about 8 days, that monthly can still, within the last few days, like have some news in it. Maybe it might have that push like this, or maybe it might just end up creating like some kind of a support. But right now, for me, what I think it might happen is maybe like a doji, create like a doji support. And then maybe that next month that we're going to have price continue down like this. All right, and then we continue to move down for the monthly. Crack 4K, because this is a super, super important area. That is 4,000 is institutional levels, 4,000 psychological. So they're going to try and hold that, the buyers, as much as they possibly can, right? Because this is going to be, once you crack 4K, like now we're just going to be looking to head down to like 3,500. Right over here, you see this? Yeah, like 3,500 from 4K. There's going to be a big tumble. A big giveaway for the buyers. You can see the sellers coming in here. Let's go and see what kind of a news that we have as well today. It's at 33.18. I think I need to upload this. Today we have unemployment claims. Oh, so we got news. We got news. We're expecting bad numbers for the dollar, which means bullish gold. Expecting an increase from 208,000 to 211K unemployment claims. So I guess to get a number lower than 211, then that should be good for the dollar. But now we're expecting bad numbers. So gold should move up at like 830. But we'll see. We'll see. That's the only news that we have for the day. This is still in distribution now as well. Now we're having more of a distribution phase. As it's moving away from the what do you call, like the breakout. We have FOMC last couple of days of the month too, so monthly could end anywhere. Yes. Well, you see with that FOMC, we're most likely gonna keep rates the same anyway. I would say there's we're gonna get like a neutral event. We're expecting July, 29th of July here. We're still looking at around 64.2%. Oh, it's reducing a little bit here, but yeah, it's still looking at 64.2%, no change. It's only towards the end of the year that we're going to see that increase. We should be seeing it increase. So you're looking at hikes by December, 90.6%. Even by October, even by September. Oh, one day after my birthday over here, we're going to have FOMC. And we're expecting 77.5% of a hike. Okay, so this is an interesting FOMC because it's the last FOMC before we have an FOMC with a pretty high probability of a hike. Let's go and look at what the dollar index is saying. But we're already expecting rate hikes. Wow, expecting rate hikes. No longer rate cuts. Here in September. 77.5%. Let's see if that DXY is still holding that level on the monthly, if it's starting to push up. Let's see if it's cleaning the range on the monthly, or if it's still within that. Let's see. I haven't looked at DXY in a minute. Where are we? Oh, there we go. Okay, so now we've cracked above we've cracked above 100. After kind of like holding this support level down over here, see low accumulation. Now it looks like we're heading towards or rather, this is smart money pricing in their rate hikes, right? So they're going to get in sooner. By the time we're getting the hikes, price is most likely going to be up here. By the time like September comes around, price probably going to be like already filling this range. So you see how that lines up beautifully? Because it's a monthly time frame, right? They're already getting in smart money because they're the market makers, correct? And they have more information. So this is going to be like the little clues that are sometimes being left behind. Correct? So we're going to see that happen here soon. You're going to see it. By September, I think we're going to be already up there. And then maybe they can start like scaling in. And also some of it is also sometimes going to be driven by FOMO. As other institutions start buying in, then they're like forced to keep buying because price keeps getting more and more expensive. And now we're going to keep driving the volume up like that. That's going to fill that range. So typically when price on DXY goes up, gold should be moving down. So also, you know, that kind of makes sense with the way price on gold has been behaving of late as well. So we could be also seeing at the same time pricing in on gold. Look at that. It's selling off here now. All right, so that's what I'm going to be anticipating here as we're in the what is it, like Q3? First month of Q3, maybe like Q3. That's going to be the analysis. Bullish dollar and bearish gold for Q3. You got on the quarterly time frame over here, and you can see previous quarter on gold already massive engulfing candlestick. Stopped right at 4K. All right, it's Q3 here. Q3 here, 2 months, 8 days. Most likely just creating a top wick. And then we're going to see that follow through right here. Because, you know, this is what we say when you trade what you see and not trade what you feel. That you feel, oh, you know, like price may be going to move up. But I think the market condition here was a lot different and the things driving price than it is currently right here. So that's why we say like even technicals, you would see banks maybe going to use overall less technicals and more fundamental work of what's actually happening at the moment to determine kind of risk. The risk, right? So you don't be too overly ambitious about these previous moves unless price starts to move in that direction. But yeah, you can see price here nicely coming down, still filling up the range. Have about like 30 minutes to the New York session open. Looks like we're not getting an inception breakout this time around. So today's market conditions going to be kind of different. We're going to see how we're going to approach it. That's why I say like it's quite important to always come onto the chart because like remember every day it's kind of like it's same but different, right? So if you're getting it earlier today, okay, then you would have like similar trades that we had on the previous 2 days, correct? But if you didn't and you missed this trade, now you're kind of getting pushed, the market pushing you to a different market dynamic, right? So you're not going to have that easy inception, obvious breakout situation, right? Now you got to see how we're going to navigate then. V-shaped reversals, profit-taking zone, rejections. And that's where it starts to get more interesting. Once you start building that experience and how to deal with those different situations, then you know you're gonna feel a lot more confident. So I'm not too worried about this because you see the thing is like when you don't build that experience, a lot of the time it happens with new novice traders. They get like impatient, they get fearful, they're afraid of missing that move because for them that move just seems so much more easy to read. So they tend to like get a lot of FOMO and mismanage their trades, jumping in too early sometimes. Because I really don't want to miss a move that it's for them easier to see. But I think it just makes it more interesting. It gives you a chance to get better, right? Say like volume here kind of slowing down as well. Congratulations if you did end up taking it. Taking that little sell-off right there. I think that's pretty good. Bang, bang. Now we're approaching the speed bump on the left hand side, which is essentially that mirror down here. You see this? Now it came and it filled. Essentially down to that mirror, right? Because it's just mirroring this move on the left hand side. You see a bet on the 1 hour. Boom. Still in a distribution phase. Might see that profit taking happening soon. As already like not having much of a range left there, about like 19 pips. I will hold a bit, maybe mix new structure there, and we get a really nice big push down. Yep. Yeah, I think so. It's gonna be in a very awkward when the new hourly opens. It's gonna be a bit awkward because it's kind of if it closes like this, if it opens like this, because it's in a distribution phase. So, oh man, especially if it starts breaking early, it might be a bit awkward. But we'll see. We'll see how it sets up. On Delta, what's the highest number you look for confluence to sell or buy? I wouldn't say there's like a highest number I'm looking for necessarily. I would say it's just more of how it's setting up as we're approaching that specific entry. You know, it doesn't necessarily gonna need like that such a big number sometimes, because you end up missing moves as well if you're too overly specific about everything. Because you see, sometimes, you know, there's also that risk aspect in the market where you have to be able to have like a bit of an edge. It's some days you get like much easier, straightforward moves. But I think for the most part, if you're planning on taking like more trades during a week, like during a whole week, I can take like about maybe, let's say 15 trades. I can take like 15 trades in a week. So I wouldn't always have what we call the luxury of waiting for high numbers all the time. That's a luxury, you know, like when you also get to manage your risk, when you get to lose less, that's a luxury. And those are things that are always going to take advantage. When the market gives you that opportunity or that option to lose less or have a good confluence trade, that's a luxury. That's why I'm saying, like, right here, this is going to be quite interesting. Right now, we are moving down heavy, though, like 1.6 mil. But it is going to be very interesting as we're also approaching the end of the week here, too. So, it could mean a few things. We could get some serious bumper clots as well. Right? Some serious bumper clots. So, we're going to wait. Because now, if we're approaching, now we got to ask ourselves the question, yeah? That was our analysis. Okay, awesome. It played out. We identified the breakout, the inception of it here. We identified the daily, the hourly bias. We identified the phase which it's in right now, which is still in the distribution phase. We identified a speed bump right over here where we should be having a reaction. But, you know, these levels are meant to get disrespected anyway. So now we have to see what can we anticipate that price is going to do next. If we go on the 15-minute, we have this next area here. Down, it's another range of around 80 pips. And you see it's starting to mirror. It's still mirroring all of this on the left-hand side here. We're still getting that mirror. You see this? Look at the way it went up. Look at the way it comes down. Went up, come down. So that's the market, right? It's always going to do this. It's like yin and yang, right? You go up, gotta come down. You can't have dark without light. You can't have light without dark. So this is why I asked you in the beginning to write a 1 if you understand this. You know, it's really important. If you don't understand it, then you should also write a 2, because these are things that, you know, you especially if you're starting to learn price action and candles, at least naked chart work is something that I believe all traders should be able to comprehend. Even if you're not basing your strategy off that, you should at least be able to understand what is being talked about. You know, like if you sit across the table from another trader and you both trade completely different concepts, you should be able to have some kind of conversation about markets objectively, you know. So it's not always about like, oh yeah, turtle soup this, inverted unicorn that. It's like, come on, man. Like, not everybody in the world trades ICT, you know. It's only that retail space, because ICT is the biggest. Then but it's not the case. I've met traders who didn't know ICT. I met guys who actually traded in hedge funds before. The one guy who traded for Goldman Sachs is married to my cousin, and he didn't know anything about that. But I could talk to him about more psychological marks, consolidating markets, and that sort of thing. You can have more mature conversations. And also I met another guy. He trades the New York Stock Exchange. He doesn't know anything about that. I met him at a bazaar of sorts, and it's nice to have those conversations, you know, where you don't have to be locked up in like your own thinking of like the specific, very specific ways of markets, because that objectivity is what allows traders around the world to make money. So it's good to have an objective outlook on markets. That's why like something like this is quite obvious, right? We spoke about accumulating markets, and then we spoke about like how this move was leading up to a distribution like this. I think that's something like lots of people can see. And also as well, we spoke about the FOMC event and how that might be pricing in dollar longs, and you could already see it on the monthly, as well as the probabilities there on the SME group, and what gold is also planning on doing here already on the HDF coming down and lining all that up with the lower time frames, you know. So that's where the beauty comes in when you start tying things up like that, using just basic naked chart work. Because just because it happened on the daily also don't mean you're gonna miss moves. Yeah, it doesn't mean like... It's funny because like the daily is moving, right? Think about the daily as a massive wave, but you shouldn't worry too much about missing on the lower time frames. So if, for example, on FOMC days, people are worried to miss FOMC event itself, so they're glued onto the screen, waiting to maybe trade the interest rate decision. But for me, I'm doing something else during that time, because I know that momentum is gonna be there when I come into the chart for my pre-London session. That wave, that momentum is still gonna be there. So I still come back the next day. All right, we got interest rate hikes. Beautiful. Gold should be moving down, not just for one day, most likely even the whole week. But like people are too glued to that event. Maybe they even try and trade the FOMC and then think that it might be over. But the real beautiful moves, man, for me, they come the next day. Because the FOMC also can be a little bit choppy, right? It could be a little bit choppy, but then it's like when that settles and then the volume starts to come in nicely again, then you start getting it with the next day. You start getting those follow-throughs. That is much better. Don't trade news. Just don't trade news. I would say don't trade news. Just wait. All right, so first speed bump's been hit. We kind of spiked into that level. Boom, spiked below like 40.77. Nice, nice, nice. Let's see how much was that. Like about 35 pips. Beautiful. Let's see how this is gonna set up here. Now we've approached our first speed bump. So we should be actually at this point seeing profit taking by a 40.77. Should be seeing a little profit taking, but of course there's been profit taking throughout the range right here. But you should say like more profit taking down there. Now we're no longer in a distribution phase, or rather, okay, we kind of still are, because I haven't seen a re-entry model yet. So this is still kind of distribution, just at a speed bump. Think we will see a big push up in NY? Yes. Yeah, we should. We should be seeing a big push. We're gonna investigate this over here. We should be seeing a big push. So far, the volume looks good. Typical pre-New York action. We got NY open about 15 minutes. So, you know, actually this move here could even be a New York session, could even be a move, could be a push up for New York session. Because see, like this move here had like already come down. We might even see like them get whacked. We might see this range area here get whacked like this. And then for New York, maybe we push up and then have that continuation later. Like it'll come down, try to take out some orders, and then continue to follow through down. But we're going to see. I don't like the fact that we've left such a big wick though down here, because getting into sells might be a little... it might be a little tricky, but we'll just have to wait for the LTF to come down a bit more and create some structure next to that wick. So that's why I'm thinking it might even be a play on the buys. Like this could be a setup for the buys later. Because remember, like we spoke about yesterday, that market opens sometimes have fake outs. So we're also going to see where that fake out might be. We might have like a fake out here. Are we looking for a buy or sell right now? Because I just did sell. The sells were up here as price was starting to break below these lows. That's where the sells were. This the distribution. So if you sold here, you're selling at a kind of unknown, at least for me, it's a bit of an unknown area. So my probability for direction is going to be much lower. Because I know we're just still in distribution from these sellers up here. They're getting paid out. The markets basically paid them out. They just hit their profit-taking marks. So you'd want to be looking for a sell for a continuation. But for that to happen, we need a bit of structure first. So we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait for a little bit of structure, and then, because if you look at the HTF, it still has like potential for a mirror, especially on the 4-hour. Like, let's remove this analysis. You see that 4-hour is still bleeding, and we've got about 2 hours 10 minutes at least on this broker here, FXCM, for the 4-hour to close. Correct. And this 4-hour hasn't moved that much. Like compared the previous 4-hour and this 4-hour, this thing's still pretty good to also push down or reflip, break its highs and push up. Either way, but you see this range here that it was planning on filling, it's at least filled like 60% of that range. We can say it has been filled. Usually you're going to see reactions around that 60% mark too. So that's what we might be seeing here. So yeah, I think it's going to be, man, it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be very interesting New York Open here. If we're going to get a sell continuation or it's going to pop back into the accumulation. Because you see that move is already done, right? So this is typical of a profit taking, which is going to be called like a V-shape reversal. Typical of a profit taking area being hit, like we also had on yesterday's move. Just had the speed bump, little V-shape reversal, boom, boom, boom. Now that's going to have to reset up, right? But it doesn't have to set up like this big. It can set up on the 1 minute, like as it pulls up, it like comes up like this, and then with New York, maybe gives like a little fake out confluence, and then look for a sell continuation, rather than just looking for a sell here. when the price has already moved down. So that's why like these cycles, we're gonna have this consolidation, let's just say distribution, profit taking, and then it's like waiting, and then maybe again consolidation. So that's what we're seeing now. So where are we in this stage? See, now we're at the profit taking. Right over here. Or we're like profit taking, waiting, /waiting. Right there. Before then that cycle is just gonna repeat. So it's super important to understand like what area you're in, so you don't end up FOMOing into a trade, or taking a trade which may even be resulting in a losing trade and then playing the victim. Because like if I took a sell here then or a buy, it's just not as predictable. Let's wait. We have about 7 minutes or 8 minutes. So I'm saying, you see how that volume? Here we go. As I'm saying, like after this little profit taking area right here, we might be popping back into that range, because sometime market opens are gonna have the fake out. So I'm still anticipating maybe this is gonna be that overall fake out here for the New York session to push up. See, look at the amount of orders flying in right now too. Let's see what we're gonna get. Could be coming in to get more orders too. That's also a possibility. That is coming back into this area to gather more orders. More sellers coming in. Because this is, you could think of this like an order block as well, right? But not in the ICT sense, but just like in the literal sense of just like a block of orders. Correct? So this is where we had like some confirmation of selling activity down over here. So market might be looking just for more liquidity, because you see at the end of the day the market's job is to find liquidity, right? If it wants to move down, the market will move down. It doesn't matter. If it wants to move up, it's going to move up. It doesn't matter. Right? So it might be just looking to facilitate a further push down too at the same time. So we always got to wait. So we don't get Judiced. Correct? So we start to get a bit more detail, a little bit more hints of what it wants to do. So right here, we're going to see whether it wants to pop back in or just getting more orders to come down. Because like the whole idea behind the way that I trade as well, it's not, I'm not trying to be right. I'm not trying to have like a perfect entry like this. I'm trying to see what the market direction is and then take it as we start to move. Like it's some move down, we're going to take it. It's some move up, we're going to take it. Rather than like doing something like this, it feels good when you catch it, but most of the times you're selling when price is moving up, right? And then wondering why that you're taking a loss. So I'd rather take a loss selling as price is already moving down. Where would I look for a buy? I think I would look for a buy if you see like right here is already a pretty good buy signal, but that wick is pretty long. But you see like we kind of closed above resistance, but we still need that this candle can come and confirm momentum by breaking this wick. But you see it's annoying because it's a pretty long wick. So by the time it's even breaking that wick, it's already going to do around 40 pips. And, you know, that's around the time we're going to see some sort of reaction. Some pullbacks potentially by that point. because that 5 minutes gonna be stretched. So I would say like for buy, we gotta wait and see the order flow here in about 4 minutes. Is it like the hourly starting to pull up a little bit? Because right here on this hourly, you don't want to be buying in this hourly, because for the whole hour, for the most part, majority of that volume came down, correct? So you would have had a better shot taking a sell rather than taking a buy, because the whole hour came down, most of it, as we're closing bearish. I mean, it feels good to get those type of sniper entries like this, right? But I think in the long run, trading against the market like that is risky. Just in the long run. In the short term, man, you can get away with a lot in the short term. But you see, we're in this for the long term, not the short term, because, you know, short term doesn't mean anything in trading. You could have an amazing year and give it all back in December. Then you wasted all your time for the whole year. So we always gonna look and see what is the safest, in quotations, safest approach. Safest approach to take trades. Is it doing the opposite? Trying to outsmart it? Or is it going literally with the flow? Because the more you try and fight it, the harder trading becomes. Now we wait. Let's clean this up. We've seen the profit taking, V-shaped reversal there at the speed bump. Price has moved up. Let's remove this. This could have been the fake out with the market about to open on NY. And now we're getting a potential setup here. Because see, trading is an art. It's not something you want to be too stringent with. So when you say like safest approach to take trades, go with the flow, because it is like an art, right? Because the flow can quickly change. It can quickly change from super bullish to being bearish, to being bearish, to being bullish. And if you can't be flexible, then you break like a ruler. So now we're about to get NY open volume here. Let's see how market participants are doing. We're starting to get a little bit activity. I would love to see a bit more aggression, would be nice. I think the 5 minutes going for the shotgun play. It might be trying to break the high there. Let's see on the 15. Nasty 15-minute candle. Just a engulfing candle. Alright, now we just got the New York session open. See how volume's coming in. Still, you know, pretty decent. Still kind of slow. I'm going to keep an eye out for these lows. Right over here. Remove this. Okay, let's remove these lines. So I want to see a little bit of increase in activity. I won't get in just yet. Although now we are at a setup phase. We got like a mini liquidity grab right there. This is the range it's currently holding. This could have been the liquidity grabs here and here. This 5-minute just opened up. There's an order flow looking 274. I feel like waiting for this 5-minute here to close. It's going for a wick fill. I feel like waiting for the 5-minute to close. It's going for the hourly wick fill. What if this 5-minute it's actually going to bleed? It's kind of the range that it's at right here. So I don't want to get into the market open fake out. See, we just got that New York session open here. It could happen on a minor scale too. The market open fake outs. That could be it right there as well. So I think I gotta wait a little bit and just be okay with like missing the sell if it does end up playing out. That could be the, you see that with the kill zones? This is New York open right there. NY open volume. Let me just monitor this a bit and just be okay with missing any potential sell for now. About like 2 minutes for the 5-minute candle closure. It's just having a reaction off of this SMA here as well. Small little kiss of death happening on that. So we got like a psychological support. See how this resets up. Maybe we're going to try and respect this level here. I keep saying NY open, but you're 1 hour and 27 minutes away. No, this is it. 8 a.m. We're going to have news in 30 minutes. We typically have news during NY. See this? We have unemployment claims here at 8:30 a.m. Baby pips market open. Oh wait, let me even lock in here. I don't want to miss a move. Got like 1 more minute. I've got like 1 more minute. See this? What does it say on baby pips over here as well? It's New York session open. We just came into it. See this? This way volume gonna increase. New York session open. Volume should be increasing here. So we're going to read that on the order flow too. Oh, it's kind of like struggling here. Delta's looking decent, but I feel like it's trying to do a Judas move. It's kind of struggling after the break right here. It's kind of accumulating a little bit. Hey, L, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Hey, it looks like it might be trying to absorb the sellers. You gotta see it. This is a very interesting situation. So yeah, it's like trying to pop back into that range. This area. We gotta create that support. I tell you, like these are very important moments right here, because you remember market opens sometimes gonna have the fake out. So you gotta see where the fake out is, right? We could still be playing on this bigger fake out, but it's going in for another smaller liquidity grab right here because markets are fractal. Correct. So that's why this is me looking a little bit suspicious. That's why I said today's gonna be a bit more interesting, because these inception plays that we've been getting like much more straightforward. Right, but we just hit like a profit taking mark, prices retrace. Sometimes you get a little bit of whips, a little whiplash before direction builds. So to avoid anything that you don't want to take, it's better just to keep waiting until you see something interesting. See, now we're starting to like pop back here. We retested the range. But it's funny because the seller aggression is reducing, so wouldn't trust a breakout just yet, because we should be increasing as we're coming down, but it's reducing, so that means it could be a bit of absorption. Could be doing a little whiplash here before the move. That's why I'm still keeping an eye out for like maybe some highs, maybe even like a high over here, like 40.86. Gotta be okay with like observing this area for a minute. But we'll see if that seller aggression steps in. It can step in quite fast. After 5 minute created like a top wick. It's just like we got psychological levels of support in there too. We have like on the 1 minute SMAs and on the 5 minute a little SMA work. Dynamic support. Because you're always gonna have two types of support, right? You're always gonna have dynamic and what I call like physical. So dynamic is gonna be your pivot points, your SMAs, etc., and your physical is gonna be like, you know, much more refined levels like this, support and resistance, supply and demand even. So that's what we're struggling with. We're struggling with the dynamic at this moment. See that? I got on the 5 minute time frame. You're gonna see it better. See that? It's I call it a dynamic support. If you want, you can download them. Free indicator in the description box. TFX SMAs. They're pretty nice because sometimes you don't have like anything. If you remove this, right, you don't really have much data of what's happening there, correct? So you kind of you're lacking like that dynamic. You see the difference? When you don't have it, it's like, okay, you know what's happening. But when you have it, you have something to look at. So let me remove that little bit of analysis here. Gotta investigate this region again. As well as dynamic is not meant to hold. At the end of the day, price action is king. So dynamic's gonna give you reactions for just a moment, but it's always a good thing to have, like especially if you're going towards like a TP and you see it just hit like kiss of death. The kiss of death is gonna be like come into like a dynamic support like this, right? Most of the time, like let's see, even your TP's down over here, that dynamic support might pull it back up to break even. So sometimes you're better even taking something off the table. Keep an eye on this. Let's see if we can get a bit of absorption from the for the buyers. If we can absorb some of the buyers as price moves up and then crack the lows. You see with the New York session open here, we haven't had the direction yet, correct? New York is open, but we haven't yet had the direction. So I think we're about to soon. Low volume close on this 5 minute as well. You see how I close like a doji? And why still deciding what it wants to do. If you go on the 5 minute, you'll see how I close like a doji? So kind of like being bullied. This should call like the bully SMA as well, that 8 SMA. It's kind of like a bully SMA. There's bullying the sellers to come down and supporting buys. So that's why I want to see like some buy absorption. And then price to maybe come down, because then we're going to have some rejection wicks here. Especially if this candle reflips, that's just going to be a rejection wick. And then you're just going to have rejections here within that zone. Rejections here, maybe even like fat rejection here. Like my potential buys would be somewhere around here, because I'm starting to see delta flip, buying pressure starting to come in too. Very interesting. So it's gonna be a very interesting New York session just due to the flow. just due to the flow of how it came from accumulation, distribution, profit taking, and then waiting, setting up again at a key time. See that? New York has not yet had its move. This is a new hourly here. So it's like a doji. It's still like a doji. It's deciding how we're going to go. Are we going to go up for that New York? Are we going to push down for that New York? Drop a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. This is the beauty about trading as well. With lower time frames, you get like a better understanding of how markets move. Like, because you're looking, because you know when you're on a higher time frame, it takes longer. When you're on a 1 minute time frame, you learn how to read market structure a lot faster. So you can imagine a trader learning on the 4 hour how to trade in a whole year. It's going to take them, every time they're looking at 4 hour, it takes them longer to understand what market structure, how it operates, because you know it's fractal. It happens the same way on the 1 minute like it will on the daily and the quarterly. So man, like you get a huge advantage when you start to learn how to sort of read the 1 minute in terms of learning purposes. And also it forces you to be more disciplined. It forces you to control impulses and urges a bit more seriously because of the way the market conditions can change quickly. Still looks to me like it wants to push down. Still a doji. 15-minute looks like a break and a retest. $15-minute looks nasty, especially with the engulfing previous candle. Yeah, it looks like a break and a retest on the 15 to push down. Delta also increasing here. Nation. On that flip, I'm gonna be in. Don't stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's get a push. Securing it. Nice. So it just secured around, let's see, 1540. Secured about 3%. Beautiful. If you're still holding, you know, beautiful, amazing. Very well done. I would say secure something. I would say secure something. Man, amazing fill on that too. Let's see. Now it should be pushing down. We're trying to also get the volume in as well. Look at that. This is the activity that I was really wondering where this was. Right here. It took a little longer this time. It took a little longer to come in, but they say this is looking quite good. That's what I was expecting to see already as we're starting to break, but the delta was already looking pretty good on the break. Now we're at like negative 700k. Beautiful. So now this is going to be like, if you go on the 15-minute, that's that break and retest that I was talking about. Oh, Lee!
Why are you running?
Why are you running?
Why are you running?
Right over here. Break, retest, boom. That's that push down. Insane! Holy! Holy, man. Look at the amount of orders coming in right now. Whoa. I know it's always like that. Imagine if you could hold longer. Man, let me tell you, it's always like that. That's the story of my life. Every single day. That's the story of my life. So I'm up for the day here. Let's see, 4,830. 9.66%. Beautiful. Story of my life. But you see that? That little cycle I was talking about. So we had the consolidation, distribution, profit taking, waiting, and then it repeats. So you can see how that repeated there beautifully. Just from what we were talking about even earlier in the beginning of the stream all the way up over here. Same exact thing happened right here. And guess what? We're also still getting that mirror effect too at the same time. So we're getting that mirror here just the same way as we are mirroring on the 4-hour time frame. So you got your point A, cumulative zone right here. Cumulative zone, and then you got your distribution. See that bully, that the thing is like what was happening essentially was what's on the 5-minute. Remember, we still had that bully SMA, but as I said, price action is king at the end of the day. Those little reactions, you're gonna get them, but if price wants to move down, it's gonna move down. It's gonna move down. Because here we also got some little bit more confluences, right? We had also we had the SMA confluence there too. We had the crossover. So that's typically gonna show you like volume. That was gonna be like small volume indication right here. That's at A cross to 50. Boom. Now you still got the bully SMA. You still got that 8 SMA. See, I still like kind of bullying this candle here. It's gonna be holding it. Now we're down towards the range of the 5-minute. Right over here. Now we should see also at the same time, within this cycle here, we should be also, this is distribution. We should be seeing some kind of profit taking here. Although there's still a lot of, what you call like orders flying in the market right now. So it could still continue to push to that level. But that's what we're seeing here. Still in distribution, but also it's just a little profit taking as it came down towards support. But you can still see there's a bunch of orders still flying in here. A lot of pretty decent activity. All right, let me add this. How much I make? 1,540. That's about 3%, 3.18, 36.26. Let's go. 36.26. Beautiful. And that's it. So welcome, guys. If you're brand new onto the stream, welcome to what we call here is TFX concepts of the cycle of the market and how that the market sort of operates, minus the whole boogeyman talk about the ghosts in the machine. See, 70 pips down, should have take profit there. 7.5 close, like 10 pips. Yeah, I got triggered when it started coming down, so I didn't get slipped. Like when the candlestick was flipping, I still got triggered there before the push. Stole my entry and my close also. Stole my entry and my close on MF prop firm, a copy over 5 prop firms. Oh man, crazy. Copy over 5 prop firms. Still getting their money. 70 pips down, should have. Yeah. Let's go, Ricardo. No emotions, just reading the market. Yes, sir. Just reading the market, waiting for those repeatable. I think we even call them repeatable cycles. Not even pattern, repeatable cycles. Crazy volume? Yeah, pretty good. Hey W, привет, привет, как дела там? See, that's why we gotta say, like, again, I'm not gonna mention the New York session here. So this is a New York session. Yeah, New York Open volume. New York Open volume right here. That's why it's good to wait. You see, if you notice as well on the first attempt here, I didn't just jump in. I waited. First attempt of it here. It's good to wait. It's good to wait and not rush. Man, a lot of you, if you just waited 10 seconds, like 5-10 seconds, you might get like a better idea of or like you might get a different perspective on your trades. See, on the 15, we should still be heading down in that higher time frame. It's insane. Oh my days, holy.
Bomboclat!
Bomboclat. $70 pips almost there. Oh, so close. Just needs a little bit more. I've got a feeling you're gonna get it, right? You're most likely gonna get it there. And I see the volume is looking good. Like, look at that action that you're getting. New York session's kind of picking out a direction as well. You're not gonna trail it? Jeez, man, 70 pips is a took 50% off now. Okay. I usually get like I think maybe when I get big moves, I think I'm out by around like 50. Like big moves. But I also risk like 2%.
permitted his voice to be recorded for the public.
$1.1 mil. $1.1 milli. 1.2. It's giving us that wick fill on the hourly. Right here. Still going down. To the 4 hour. As far as still bleeding. Of course. Daily, we're just pretty much taking out the previous daily lows as well. Might get like a engulfing daily engulfing close. And you know, the good thing is like right in and out on time, because we're about to get a news. So caution news. We're about to get news here in about 2 minutes. We should be moving up for news, but we will see what the numbers come out here in the next 2 minutes. The caution news. See, we're just like pretty much mirror that move on the left hand side here. Right, we just mirrored this move on the left hand side. But I hope in news it just spikes down and hits below support right there, like 40.70. Wick down to my TP. Oh, TP gets slipped. Well, that's unemployment claims. We should see something, but it's also gonna be like an orange folder there on Forex Factory. But unemployment claims should move the market. Let's see. We start to see the fireworks coming in. You see, we got about 40 seconds. 40 seconds. We're about to get some fireworks. We're not seeing too much activity actually here. It's decent, but this should increase. $20 seconds. 20 seconds to fireworks. $20 seconds of fireworks. Let's go. 10 seconds. Oh, I hope it smashes below those lows. Here we go. Oh, there are the orders coming in. You see this? Look at this. Look at how the orders coming in here. Smash those lows. Let's get it. TP smash. Slip it. Slip it. There you go. I think it hit it. Nice. After hitting it, watch it now melt another 50 pips. Watch it now melt another 50. That's the worst, right? Like when you just secure something and then it moves like an extra 40 pips. That's the worst feeling. And I noticed it likes to do that. Like usually most of the time it's weird. It's like where most people would like be looking to take profit. It could be like a wick break or a certain amount of pips. It would like trigger a little bit, then like next 5 seconds, just move like an additional 20 plus. Beautiful activity though. That we're seeing right here. Beautiful. Now this is the power of order flow. Look at the way this thing just melted right now. Amazing. I gotta pay for my subscription, I think tomorrow. Yeah, I gotta pay tomorrow. I gotta pay for DX feed tomorrow. We're down about 2.4 mil. Actually, if you look at the whole day over here, we're pretty much the strongest bearish candle that we've seen all day. Lining up beautifully for that New York session. This is our hourly time frame, 2.4 mil. Volume. We want to trade during times of high volume. That's when we want to trade. Let's see what we're bouncing towards here. We got one speed bump, which is, I think that's what, on the 15. Where did we draw this? On the 30 minute. Because essentially right now, we just got to get through that 30 minute support. So we can continue melting down. We got to break below, that's like 40.68. And then come down towards these lows. Right? Like 40.50. I think for the rest of the day, most likely just going to see it bleed. Most likely just going to see it keep coming down. On the 1 minute, it is still currently in distribution though. There's no re-entry at this moment. So again, coming back to this, what phase are we in? Are we consolidating phase, distribution phase, profit taking phase, waiting phase? Because now we've broken below this area here. You see, we're still now in the distribution. There's a profit taking mark. But you see, there's still a lot of volume. How do you get that bookmark? It's called Exo Charts. US 30 Exo Charts. Gold slips by 1%. Slips 1% as oil rally brings Fed rate hikes into focus. Ah, you see? That's what we were speaking about earlier. So that's what I'm anticipating for the rest of this quarter, chat. Like a lot more selling pressure. Doesn't mean we won't take buys. We will still take buys. But if we can get the sells, I would be expecting more of this with the sells. Kind of like similar thing that happened here this morning too. You can see like insane entry this is. It looks like the market went to try and take out the position before the massive dump though, in classical market fashion. You see it just came up. Boom. Saw you took out that high. And then just completely nutted. Completely melted. Now that was a beautiful trade. Now that was an amazing trade. I made on that trade around... how much? 6.58%. I don't like this trickle though. I noticed like since pre NY, it's been kind of trickling there in the 1 minute. It's trying to get into this little trick. You see like how price creating supports as it's coming down like this. Like these trickle effects. At least we got a little bit of smooth sailing here once we hit that support. But that trickle just makes it like difficult. There we go. Maybe continuation of a push here. I'm seeing orders are starting to come in as well. Oh man, this is just straight melt. We're down 1.55% on the daily time frame, the daily change. Yeah, you know the thing is, it's like it's because if you go on the higher if you go on the 5 minute, it's we don't have ranges on the left. You see all these ranges, these are all higher time frame ranges. As price is coming down, we have to go like higher time frame, like maybe 1 hour, even the 4 hour. To see where we're heading a little bit more clearly, because these zones are like really far off. So whenever we're trading the lower time frame, it just feels like we're just trading a downward trending market, right? If you just see this, we're just trending a downward trending market, because you got to go so back to see those levels. So that's why we say the trend is your friend. You're much better off following it until it bends. And look at this. 2.9 mil. We're almost at 3 mil as well. Trend is your friend until it bends. I think the only time we would be getting those buys, as we spoke about, was going to be if price confirmed to us with a break above, let's say, this high. We're looking for like a buy over here. But you see, if price doesn't break that high, then there's a lower probability that you're going to get a buy. So instead, we're going to listen to the market. So if the market tells us that it doesn't want to move up, it's going to move down, then we're going to move down with it. We're going to find a way to get stuck in here, and then you'll see most of the time that that you're better off doing that. You know what another confluence for this trade was? It's this is the thing I was looking at. We got a pretty long wick over here, so let's like remove all this. So whenever we have like long wicks, these are gonna form like a boundary or barrier right over here. So you see that long wick? So what happens, what tends to happen a lot as time I see, is we're gonna fill inside that wick, not break it, and then price will continue in the overall direction that you might be seeing that the daily or the hourly is pushing. So that's something else that I was kind of keeping in mind here, because at the same time we could look at this and also anticipate this to be some kind of liquidity grab here, but we gotta see what levels those are. Maybe it's like liquidity grab or sellers coming back in, because we had that accumulation previously right over here, remember? So it's coming back into that range. So multiple things could always be happening there. It could be hitting people, BE, kind of like removing them before the big move, like I showed you that happened in pre-London, how it went up, kind of like slightly took out that area right over here. You see, slightly took out that area over there before like having that massive push to the downside. So sometimes it could be like a similar thing, like the market already knows the direction it wants to head, in my opinion. So it comes up and does something similar, because it doesn't want to leave you in profit for too long most of the time. Correct? So after having this push here that we called from that accumulation, it comes down and it retests overall on the HTF. Boom, and then have that continuation. So that was another interesting sort of like a telltale sign aided by the daily and hourly push, or you know, the direction where volume was heading. So you're always seeing how we're moving and what do those wicks mean in that direction that you're thinking that price is ultimately going to go towards. So that was quite like a nice little confluence too. So it could be like hitting BE, getting more sellers involved right there. It could be stop hunting too. Got stop hunting. It could be stop hunting as well. Trailing stops. But what we do know is that it's more lucrative for the market to move like that, right? Like it's better for it to move like this than it is for it to move straight in a direction, because more people are going to make money like this, and also it's not sustainable, right? So we're always going to have like these events. So once you even understand that, you better like in a better position there to objectively look at these things and then kind of like build a narrative around them, correct? Or like a confluence for your trades. Because remember, trading and money, they don't have emotion. There's no emotion. It's not that they're trying to get you out necessarily. It's just moving like this, but there's no emotion to it. Zero emotion. That's why, man, like when you get into your trading room, I leave my ego outside the door. I don't bring my ego into the trading room. Because, you know, we're here to make money. You gotta know the difference. Some people, they like to, you know, puff, sip something nice as they're, you know, watching the charts. But you gotta know the difference. You're running a business here, or, you know, you're coming to fuck around. Let's see some chart work. Winning trade consistently. WWW. That's a little one-on-one trade right here. Oh, it's still continuing pushing. Very nice. That Momar. What's that? Liquidity grab, confluence, break of the lows, shotgun play. Clean. You can already see that little accumulation manipulation here. As it came up to take out the highs. Boom. Took out the highs, little liquidity grab, break of the lows, clean range. Little breakout situation here as well. Nice little, what do you call it? Like head and shoulders. Nice little head and shoulder confluence. Nice little SMA crossover. Probably like a little clean traffic there too on the 5 minute and above. A nice little sell there by Kevja. Kevja in the chat. Ruben as well, taking nice sells. Ooh, choppy market though this is. A little accumulation here. Very choppy market condition. But you made it work. That's some nice dubs, little fake out signal. Man, you can just see it right off the bat. This naked chart work. Little break of the lows there. That was a fake out. That's a giveaway. This is like that 15-minute retest. Basically what we just had on the same trade. This is exactly what that was on the 15-minute. I think bearish engulfing 15 after breaking and retesting an accumulation point like that. Because, you know, market, again, remember, fractal. So the better it is you're at understanding that, then like you're able to think a lot more faster about what kind of a trade you're taking. See that little liquidity grab right there? Nice. Very good. Very well done. Very well done. What time frames are extra charts on? That's hourly. Because, you know, you don't want to go too low a time frame on this. You're going to have a lot more false signals. Because at the end of the day, this is all I'm trying to catch. I'm just trying to catch an hourly candle. I'm never going to be in a trade longer than even 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. But most of the time, all we're trying to do is just get stuck in, at least in an area where we can have a chance to catch an hourly push in case that we need a hold. Right? Because you see this hourly? What do you think about this hourly here? It just moved down, correct? So what do you think about the people who are trading gold all around the world right now? What are they doing? Are they making money as prices moving up? Most likely more sellers are going to be making money. For this specific hour here. I reckon we could see probably like -2% on the daily. Not like 1.50. It's lifting me higher. You see, that the issue I don't like about this specific day is that, fine, you get the direction. It's pretty straightforward moving down, but it's no fun because these levels are so behind. So it feels a bit awkward. These levels are so far behind. But although we do know they're getting filled on the 4 hour. Even watch out for like 40, once you start cracking 40-50. Here on the 4 hour, continue to come down to like 4,000 psychological. So that's what I actually see happening for as we're heading towards like Asia into the last day, the weekly close. We might be looking towards heading towards like 4K. So tomorrow's stream most likely gonna be a sell at this rate. Most likely gonna be a sell. So we're gonna see how price reacts off these levels, like 40.52. That's what I'm gonna be looking at like tomorrow morning. 40.52 on the 4 hour. Because right here you're just selling, right? There's not much levels, because if you start drawing levels now, you're just gonna have a lot of levels because these levels are gonna be disrespected. These levels are meant to be disrespected once price picks a direction.
Bring the baseline back around again.
So this is that 15 I was showing you. Break retest into accumulation as liquidity grab / retest to push down. $4K, yes sir. $4K is the target. Can you check silver? I mean, silver is looking, I don't know if it's a broker TVC, but this is super wicky. Wicky, it just does not look good. Maybe like higher time frame silver looks manageable, but yeah, silver is also distributing right here on the 15. It's starting to break below these lows and it's pushing down towards 58 psychological. See, I also got some clean ranges here to fill on the higher time frame too. So silver is actually down quite a lot. It's down pretty much 3%. So silver is having a similar reaction like gold, where gold's also at that resistance and then it's coming down, breaking previous lows. So also on silver, I'll be looking for sells. 4 hours also breaking below like 58,500 or 5K over here, 58.5. Boom. Next target's 56.50. Like even right here. Down by that support. So how can you get stuck in? You see, because the levels are so far behind. Even on the 5-minute. But you know the higher time frame is moving down. So you just must wait for structure and then a break to get a continuation. I think something like oil would be more applicable here because we're trading gold. So yeah, I see with like oil is moving up. We just hit $92 a barrel on oil, and this thing is skyrocketing as well. I think we already had this analysis, but I don't know, it's not showing on the chart, but we had oil analysis here because of the clean range. On the left hand side, we're expecting to get filled towards resistance. Right, so that's currently mopping up. Nice little V-shaped reversal there. So that's an amazing confluence again for why I think tomorrow we're just gonna keep pushing down and we're gonna keep getting sells. So even like pre-London tomorrow, I think we're going to still be looking at some good sells, just like we had this pre-London analysis here. We may find ourselves in this situation tomorrow morning. Further sell side, further bomber clot trades. So watch out for those. See, nice little accumulation. I mean, nice little liquidity grab happened here too. Started breaking the lows and then prices completely melted from that point. So watch out for that, watch out for that, watch out for that. How beginners avoid fake outs? Alright, so you can't, the best thing to do to avoid fake outs, and it's what I did, right? It's what I did that I changed from last week, was trading a high volume time. So that's one way to avoid fake outs, because a lot of the time when you're getting faked out, you're getting faked out as well as times of low volume, right? Or you're trading pairs with low volume. So you must first trade a pair which has good volume, like gold, and then trade gold during times of high volume, which for me is like pre-London and New York. I was trading London before, but then London started like accumulating too much and I couldn't get like proper trades in. That's how you're gonna avoid fake outs. But I'm gonna head out here, guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you tune in. It's super important. Today we had a slightly different market condition as well. Kept things a little bit interesting. But I will see you all tomorrow. So adios. Take care, everybody. Don't overtrade. Don't over risk. See you in the next one. Peace. Love, love, love. Take care, everyone.